Good day everyone. Yesterday I was going through all the news headlines that was being shown to me on my Google Chrome app on my phone, and the AI decides what I should see. And I realized that although there's some positive articles, that the majority of them are pretty bleak. It talks about the economy being bad, big businesses, well-known businesses struggling like Woolworths, Pick n Pay and many others, and companies closing down, people leaving the country. But the one thing that the AI does is it shows me things from around the world that I'm interested in, and you see the same thread everywhere. This is not just happening in South Africa, this is happening worldwide. And in South Africa we have such disparity between different groups of people, how we live, income categories of people, and so a lot of people feel very protected where they live. They don't see the difficulty that many other people are going through if they're not exposed to it. But in many other places like in Europe, it's very different, where people are exposed to problems in cities, especially metros. And as infrastructure that was built decades ago to only last maybe 60 to 100 years, as that infrastructure is starting to crumble, like piping for water, for gas, and sewage and many other things, major work needs to be done by governments to replace that, because that infrastructure was put in place, the rainwater, stormwater removal and so on, was put in place a long time ago to last, and it was never going to last forever. And I just had a dog running down the road and chasing after a car, and what happened is that the governments just didn't bother to do anything with regards to replacing that or thinking about it. They've just thought it's always going to be there, and that is why in South Africa at the moment we have a serious water crisis in many of the metros. And in future, desertification will start to take place, where these cities will just absolutely start to become water scarce, not because there's no water to supply, but because the infrastructure that supplies that water is broken. Very much the same with electricity, where load reduction needs to be done, not load shedding, because the transformers and the wiring cannot cope on a local scale. And people need to understand that the amount of money that it's going to cost to replace that infrastructure, most countries don't have. So we are getting to a point where cities around the world will go through a completely new phase, and this is what Klaus Schwab speaks of when he says we need a great reset. And it's not because he wants to force anything, it's because it's inevitable in his mind. And how he wants that to take place, he is laid out in a book called The Fourth Industrial Revolution, and in our membership meetings we speak about that often. Tomorrow night we'll speak about it again. People need to understand reality. No matter what it says in the media, what AI shows you, these things are inevitable, because that infrastructure was never going to last. The concrete pipes were never going to last forever, and they were always going to break over time. And this has now happened, and many places around the world is in crisis because of this. But there's many things we can do, and tonight in our live stream, Lauren and I will do a live stream tonight between 7 and 8 o'clock. Around that time we'll announce it, where we talk about what you can do to be prepared for things like this. We've spoken about it many times before. Many of you are new to this channel, so please join us then. Subscribe to the channel so you can get that link later, and then join us for that live stream, what you can do to mitigate these things that are sure to happen. Thanks.